Good boy. Come with me, baby. Just let me turn this, Marlowe. Good boy. What a good boy. What a fantastic boy. Come right up here where we can see you. Right in the camera. That's my boy. Oh, what a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. What a good boy. So I'm here today with Marlowe. This is an absolutely phenomenal young male. This is one of our 4th generation pups. And so his great grandfather Dakota's back in the yard. His grandmother Tora's there. His mom Kai. His dad Leaf. They're all back in the yard. So this young guy, he's out here doing the Desna training with him. He's completed it. He's just hanging out with me now to go on the flight home. He's heading home right away to Brandon. Brandon's waiting for him. And so he's going to be heading out there. Now, I could hike the rest of my life with this guy. He's that good already. He's just a rock star. Now, this is about 2.5 kilometers that we come through the bush. He can go in the snow right now. And so I don't have to break his trail. If I got bigger dogs, I break trail. But him, he can run on top, so I can just cruise. And so it's kind of nice. I can stay on my hard trails and make them some new areas. But him and I, we could hike the rest of our lives. Now, to get a dog this skilled takes years and years for most people. And really, they don't have the reliability simply because they don't have the genetics. Now, as Canada's last remaining working Elkhound breeder, I think we're the last remaining working Elkhound breeder in North America, actually. And so we have the old standout dogs that are true working hiking dogs. Now, we're far and away different in our breeding program than most breeders, simply because we focus on all the internal aspects, the genetics, the personable nature, the handling, the recall skills, the protection instincts, all of those things that matter out in the bush. Now, that doesn't mean to say that we don't have every bit as pretty, every bit as fancy a dog, and fancy and pretty are not words that describe an Elkhound, but our dogs are every bit as structurally correct, if not better than all other Elkhounds anyway. The working Elkhound for centuries has been this model of efficiency, and it's designed to do a certain job, which is cruise through here. And Marlowe's a perfect example of, come on, boy, come on right up here. Hey, Marlowe, come by me in this video. Come here, boy. I've got to show you off. Come here, boy. Oh, what a good boy. Come on up here. I want to show you off a little bit. Oh, what a good boy. What a good boy. Oh, my good boy. Now, this is a better dog than both parents, by the way. Of course, there's nothing but good stock in this dog. So it's not hard to believe that he's such a good dog. I mean, the quality of the dogs, his ancestors, his forefathers, however you want to put it, they're all the very best as well. And this dog reminds me so much of the old Wells Fargo, which is a couple of generations past his great-grandfather. So this guy has all that solid build, that muscling, that development, and that's all in there. Now, if you've ever seen Tora, you know exactly where some of this strength and power comes from. Tora is just his powerhouse. So this guy's got all this big power and a very, very, very stout stamina for this job. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, you just stay by me, buddy, till I'm done the video. That's my boy. Now, there's a difference between a friendly dog and a personable dog. Now, a friendly dog's going to come up, okay, you go ahead, and really be nice to you and all that. But that doesn't mean he's going to focus on what you're doing in the bush. Whereas a personable dog is going to focus on you while you're in the bush all the time. He'll scout the area for you all day long. That's his role, and he's watching for what you're doing. He's looking for cues. But a personable dog is much better in the bush than a friendly dog. Now, personable doesn't mean it's unfriendly. It just means it's more focused on the handler. And those instincts are bred into the dog. Marlowe, of course, has one of the top female hiking dogs. His mother, Kai, is as good as you can get. If you've ever seen Kai in the videos, her focus on the handler is just impeccable. Now, Tora and I, of course, we've hiked, I don't even know, hundreds and hundreds of miles, Tora and I, his grandmother. And I haven't said a word to Tora on a hike in, I don't know, 7-8 years. Her and I, we just go. Now, her dad's even better. I mean, he's the best there is. And so all those instincts, they pass down generation to generation. Now, when you match up proper pairs, when you do your work, lots of guys study astrology, or astronomy, I guess I should call it, the study of the stars. Some guys read fiction, some guys are watching hockey, who knows what the hell they're doing. But I focus on pedigrees, right? So I read pedigrees, lineages, study the dogs, what happened to matings between pairs, what one line doesn't work with the other, which one does work. And so I understand which lines work together and why. And I'm not a genetic researcher, but I can sure tell you that some breeders have no clue what they're doing. They're just mating to a dog down the street because they happen to have it there and it's completely the wrong dog. Other breeders are very, very aware that certain lines work, certain lines don't. And when you get a guy like Marlowe that comes out and he's better than both parents, you know that the work has been done correctly so that the genetics are all the better genetics keep coming each time. I think there's even a name for it. It's a nick or something, but the whole concept behind these lines getting better and better and better is there's diversity in the line for starters. So Marlowe's grandfather, Bram, first generation in Canada, he got no dogs in his background anywhere close to the dogs in Leaf's background. And so Kai's dad, Bram, he brings all them old ancient working lines. They've never left Norway. And they're ancient old lines. Dakota's line, when it came to Canada, literally, I mean, it was one of the first lines that came in here out of Sweden. And those old dogs been here, they haven't left. It's like an island of this super genetic material that is an outcross to everybody. You take Leaf's line, he's got a real neat group of breeders there. They stick together, they know their dogs, they know what's going on. And the old gal there that bred Leaf, I mean, she's world renowned for her skills in breeding dogs. Pat Trotters with the Vin Melka dogs is just amazing. And so those dogs are completely unrelated to mine. They're like a different breed. But they're the same breed, but they're different. So when we bring them together and we know those genetics and I know these genetics and I know all the traits there and all the traits here, and whatever's weak here is strong here and whatever's weak here is strong here, when we put them together we get guys like this. And I got a whole yard full of these guys right now. I had Leaf on Kai, Leaf on Kai's half-sister Tuva, and Leaf on Tekla, which is Tuva's full sister, Kai's half-sister. So I had all these pups from Leaf and these fantastic working girls, and all these pups are amazing. They're all like little Marlows. And the other two boys that are just in the yard that are going home right away, Loki and Norris, rockstar dogs. Wow. And their brother Indiana out in Alberta there, oh my goodness, he's a good boy. And then I got all the Teklas. Like there's 6 of them in the yard there, and they're just these little mountain dogs, little tiny guys, and they're just mountain dogs already. And so it's a real treat for me. Now, breeders have lost the art of understanding what works out in the field. And Leaf's lineage is falling into that. It's still working in the field to a degree, but my lines just pull all that right back to the center. But I got worries for the rest of the show breeders, because they're not putting the dog in a working environment. They're not seeing what's missing, and they gotta take a hard look at that, because you bring a dog out here, he better have skills, he better have instincts, because you don't train a dog for this work in very short order. There's my little guy right there. Now that's a good, smart boy. Good boy, Marlowe. Good boy. Now he's got something, he figures. Now that's what he's supposed to do. So I'm going to go see what he's got. Now that's a good boy. Good boy, Marlowe. Good boy. What do you got, buddy? What do you got, buddy? Good boy. Good boy, Marlowe. We'll go see what he's got. I'm not expecting any big issues out here. Marlowe, come on up here, buddy. Good boy. Come on, boy. Come here. What a good boy. What do you got? Good boy. I'll come over.